Hello and welcome back to the fucking wonderful podcast that is Hangin with Hohman. I am joined here today with my beautiful, very sexy friend Matt.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
I've known him for literally probably a decade and a half.
Maybe and I just keep getting hotter.
Yeah, it just keeps getting hotter, you know. But today's gonna be a fun one. We're just gonna be shooting the shit, just hanging out. But yeah. Dude, I want to start things off with how you feel about the fucking Steelers, because I know you. We were supposed to do an episode last night, but he was like, "Hey man, listen, I gotta watch the Steelers game," and
I probably shouldn't have watched.
probably should have came and did this, man. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on it. How'd you feel?
Like a slight part of me thought that it was gonna happen, that they were gonna lose. But not in terrible fashion like they did.
Not in terrible fashion, man. Jesus.
When they fumbled the snap on the first play and the Browns scored within literally the first 14 seconds of the game.
That's what I'm looking at right here. 14 seconds.
Yeah.
It was a fumble and they just...
Yeah, it was a high snap and they fumbled it into the end zone and the Browns recovered.
Shout out the Steelers. Hey, by the way, for everyone who doesn't know, Matt's a huge Steelers fan and I'm a Ravens fan, so me and him have a little beef when it comes to that.
So moving on.
But yeah, anyways, guys, Steelers lost to the Browns 48-37. It was a great night. Super happy about that. And the Ravens won against the freaking Tennessee Titans. And all I gotta say is, did you see that when they went on the emblem?
Yeah,
dude, I was so happy when they did that. I was so happy.
Yeah, it was like the ultimate like petty revenge, and then they didn't shake hands at the end.
I know, I love that, dude.
Yeah.
I love that. Super happy to see that shit. But to start things off, let's go into a little bit about who you are, so that the people can kind of get to know who Matt Petraglia is. So take the floor.
So yeah, my name's Matt. I'm 22. Turning 23 in a couple of days, so be on the lookout for that.
Damn, really? When's your birthday?
January 17th.
Oh, what?
So Sunday. Yeah.
I did not know that. Let's go, baby.
John and I grew up together. Real good friends, throughout middle school, high school.
We used to shoot low budget films.
Yeah. Adult films.
No.
Some of the guys that are in the band, Tommy, Pierce, Conrad, we were all buddies back in the day.
Still are. Just adults now, kind of.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Tommy's house was usually the main hangout spot. And John was usually the bad influence of the group. So we got into some stuff.
We always got into great, I call them learning lessons.
Yeah. But no, we all grew up relatively close to each other, and just we're buddies.
Yeah, we're buddies. We've known each other for a while.
Yeah. And we don't talk as much like now, but
because unfortunately the adulting life is taking over.
But I could text John whenever I want and say some really obscene stuff,
and I will always.
It would just be, nothing out of the blue.
Yeah, it'll be just normal. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Nothing much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where'd you go to school?
So, I graduated from Towson. I graduated last spring. I went there my sophomore through senior year. My freshman year, I actually went to school down in Tennessee at a very small school called, when I went there, it was called Tusculum College. It has since been changed to Tusculum University. Real small school in East Tennessee. I had a lacrosse scholarship, so I played lacrosse down there.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And turned out it wasn't for me, so transferred back home, went to Towson. I played club lacrosse at Towson until my senior year. And I graduated from Towson with a degree in mass communications, focused in journalism and advertising. And
before you go, I didn't go to college. I went to just like a whatever trade school or whatever. But what is mass communications?
So basically, like at Towson,
I probably sound stupid. Everyone's like,
No, no,
everybody knows that.
no, it's pretty general. It's like a pretty general like degree actually, but at Towson at least, it fell under 3 categories. So there are 3 focuses. There was journalism and new media. There was a focus in advertising and a focus in public relations.
Okay.
So with that, a lot of people go into like
HR or some shit.
some people go into HR, like PR positions,
Okay.
marketing, advertising roles, obviously. And then,
Is that kind of your career?
well, so right now
road or
I like to say that I'm fun employed.
Fun employed.
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit on that.
Unemployed, but having fun.
Hey, there we go, baby. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah. So I actually, my junior year through, or actually the summer before my junior year and then into the summer that just passed, I was working in marketing for a test development company.
Are you allowed to say who that company
Yeah,
was?
yeah. It's a company called Prometric. They basically like, if you have to take a test to be certified in something for your job, like if you have to take like the CPA exam to be an accountant,
Okay.
the company that owns the CPA exam would contract with Prometric to develop the exam and then administer it in their test centers across the world.
Okay.
So I worked in marketing for them. I started as an intern, worked my way up a little bit until May, and the dreaded global pandemic that is going on laid a bunch of people in my department off.
Oh, wow. So you
yeah.
actually got hit with that like directly.
Yeah. So
Wow.
and like some other factors.
Yeah,
went
of course,
into
of course.
it
We'll get into
talk-
that. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
And so I ended up I got laid off, and I was without a job for a little bit, and then I started working for a new company. I was doing sales for a construction company for 3 days,
but damn, man, that's so long. Holy shit.
and then I had to stop doing that. If we can get into that now, if you want, unless you had more.
I have
Well, save it.
actually, yeah, no, we could get right
Okay,
into that
okay.
because that's pretty much. I just have like a little intro, you know who you are and stuff. But
So, do you want to introduce the topic, or you want me
you
to
can,
just
you
keep
can.
on
Hey,
going?
it's your story, man. So you introduce. it.
So, in April, so this was like the start of this whole incident. I actually I had to go to the hospital in April, and I was having some really bad chest pain. And so this was like, right around like when COVID started getting pretty bad and stuff.
When do you said it was in April?
Yeah, it was in April.
Okay. Yeah, COVID started around like probably like late February, early March or whatever.
So, nobody like knew much about COVID still at this point in April.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was at my house in Towson with my 4 other roommates. One of them happens to be a nurse, and I texted her in our group message, and I was like, "Guys, I'm like having really bad chest pain. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know if it's COVID or not, but like I'm just gonna stay in my room." And if you know a nurse, like if you ever have a medical question, don't just immediately reach out and ask what's going on, because they get pretty annoyed when you do that. It's like,
They probably get it 20 times a day.
yeah, and also like,
I have a runny nose. Am I dying?
Like, how the fuck are they going to know what's going on with you?
Yeah, they're gonna give
Ty,
me exact diagnosis.
my roommate Ty is an orthopedic nurse. He like fixes people with broken bones. I was like, Ty, I have chest pain. What's going on?
But please tell me. I don't know what's happening.
Anyway, I thought like maybe it was like indigestion, like some bad indigestion,
Like heartburn or whatever?
Yeah. Like I've never had that before.
Yeah.
And the reason I thought that was because the night before I ate an entire bag of spicy sweet chili Doritos, an entire bag of Muddy
God.
Buddies, and I drank a whole thing of Diet Coke.
Dude,
I don't
my
even-
ass would feel that.
I don't even like Diet Coke. I was like, I don't know. I was off one.
Were you like stoned or something? Like that's some like stoner food.
I have no idea. And
Just one of those nights.
yeah, just, And so I was like, oh, it's got to be indigestion. So Ty, He was like, I'm going to run out to the store. I'll get you like a bottle of Pepto, like drink it when I come back.
Or some like
okay.
Tums and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So he comes back, I drink it, and then I hop in the shower because, like, when you're sick and you get in the shower, like
Sometimes makes you feel better.
Yeah, yeah. It did nothing. And I was like, oh man, this like feels really weird. And so I didn't have a primary care doctor or anything at the time. So one of my other roommates, his mom actually works for a doctor, and he was like, give him a call. Like, he's cool. Like, he'll talk to you and he'll tell you what to do. So I was like, okay. So I call him up. I tell him what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I have really bad chest pain. I don't know what's going on. I thought it might be like indigestion or something. And he was like, yeah, like, by like the way you're describing it to me, it like sounds like it could be, like some indigestion or something. But he's like, I don't really mess around with chest pain. So why don't you go up to St. Joe's, the hospital, and I'll call him. I'll tell him that you're coming, so you don't have to wait or anything. And just go get checked out. It can't hurt. So I was like, oh, okay. So I pull up. They take me right away. They take me right to the back. And this was probably like around like noon, 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there all day. And they were running tests and tests and tests. And they can't figure out what's going on.
Were they just simply running tests like for indigestion, or were you
they were kind of like covering all their bases.
They were just checking for everything?
Yeah, like based on like the symptoms I told them and like what I had going on. They're like, okay, let's check this and let's check that. And so they thought that I had like a collapsed lung. And so they were running a test for it. They ran this one test. It's called a D-dimer. So what a D-dimer test does is it comes back with like a certain number or something. And if it's not within like a certain range, this is as far as I understand, if it's not within like a certain range, they can tell if, something might be going on. So my number was a little off. I don't know what it was. So they're like, all right, let's send you back for a CT scan. It's like, okay. So they send me back for a CT scan. Mind you, they're looking for a collapsed lung.
So that was like their goal, or not goal, like that was their vision at first.
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
like, this is what we're going to look for.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
That's what they went in thinking it was. So like, all right, let's see if he has a collapsed lung. So they run the CT, and then I come back to my room, and I had like 2 nurses that were working with me. So the first nurse comes in, and she's like, yeah, so they didn't see a collapsed lung. I was like, okay, that's good. And she's like, but you do have a small tear in your aortic valve. And I was
Which
like,
isn't normal, correct?
no, not at all.
It shouldn't be.
And your aorta, going back to elementary school gym here, when you ride on the scooters through like little heart tunnels. If anybody else did that, I don't know if that was just my school.
I don't remember anything from like 6th grade down.
Your aorta, your aorta is the biggest valve in your heart.
Okay.
Very important. So
One would say.
So mine was torn.
Wow.
And they're like, I don't know if you're gonna need to have surgery tonight or not, but they told me to get you ready for surgery just in case. And I'm like,
what was going through your mind?
I was
at that point?
like heart surgery, and she was like, yeah, like open heart surgery. And I was like,
and we've been taught throughout when we're like kids and stuff, like,
yeah,
that's the one, like you kind of know like a few surgeries here and there, like you hear like, oh yeah, like somebody got their, like they had like a brain surgery or something, or like you said, open heart. That's kind of like the one where you're always kind of
if you had to pick surgeries, probably not on like the top of the list of
or anywhere on the radar to say the least.
So she was like, yeah, like open heart surgery. And I was like, okay. She's like, well, you don't have to have it. And she's like, you would just probably die if you don't. And I was like,
what the fuck? What?
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All
No
right.
biggie. No biggie. Did she say it just kind of like melodramatic like that?
The way I like put it, it made it seem like a lot like less thoughtful. Like they were really nice.
Okay. So they were kind of just understanding, like, do you understand the severity of this issue?
I think I asked, like, what are my options? Like, do I have to? And she was like,
that was her answer.
She's like, well, I mean, well, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Oh my God.
But yeah. So the second nurse came in, and was like, yeah, so you're gonna have surgery tonight. I was like, okay. And like, honestly, like it all happened so fast. Like when they were telling me, like they started like giving me drugs and stuff through my IV and all that. I didn't like even have time to like get scared about it or anything.
So they were just going straight in it.
Yeah, it was like a pretty urgent thing.
Holy shit.
Like
they explained that to you, right? Like
yeah,
they told
yeah,
you this
yeah.
is urgent. Like this isn't like something,
Yeah.
this isn't, like a
Yeah,
gas
like
problem or.
couldn't wait.
Holy shit.
So mind you, this is all like during COVID and stuff, so you can't have visitors in the hospital.
So you're by yourself.
Yeah, I was by myself.
Oh
and,
my God.
So the surgeon came in and he was talking to me and he was like explaining what was going on and stuff. And he was like, you had an aortic dissection. So what that means is that you have two layers to your aorta. You have your inner layer and your outer layer. If you have a dissection, it's caused by an aneurysm, so swelling and stuff like that. So I had an aneurysm which caused the dissection. The dissection, the inner layer tears and blood gets in between the two layers and starts, bulging out against that outer layer. And if that outer layer tears, you die.
Kind of almost like a hernia, but in your aortic valve, kind of, in a way. A hernia is kind of like where you have like a blood vessel and
Yeah, okay.
it kind of bursts on the outside. Or actually, I think I might be talking about a hemorrhoid.
Aren't hemorrhoids in your ass?
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
So
Sorry about that.
no, it's all good. So yeah, he's like, so if your inner layer tears, which is the dissection, and then bulges against the outer layer, if the outer layer tears, you die. It's really
You just bleed out. You internally bleed out or whatever.
Yeah, I assume so. Luckily I didn't get to that point.
Thankfully. Jesus.
But it's pretty serious. Like more than half the people that have dissections, they usually die.
Are you saying like they die from the surgery or they die from just being too late?
If I remember correctly, like, they don't make it in time to surgery. Like it's a very like.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So like
I
was pretty lucky like that I went to the hospital in the first place because they found it and they found it early enough to the point where like, they were able to go in and fix it with surgery.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, it's like really serious. And then the surgery is also like really long and pretty dangerous too. There's a lot of like bleeding and stuff.
Yeah. I assume anything done to the heart involves a lot of bleeding and a lot of risk.
Yeah. So my doctor, he was like, why don't you give your parents a call? I'll stay in here and I can talk to them.
Your parents had no idea at this point.
Well, they knew I was.
Oh, they knew you were in the hospital. Okay.
But
they had no idea. They thought it was for indigestion or something.
Yeah,
just to get checked
my mom
out.
like was fully convinced that it was going to just be indigestion because I told her like about all the junk food and stuff that I ate the night before.
Bro.
So like I like still to this day like feel really bad like calling my mom and saying like, hey, like they said I have to have like heart surgery, and like she was like freaking out like any mom would,
Yeah.
And
holy shit.
and she was like, well, like, what do I do? Like, and I was just like, look, like the surgeon's here. Like, I'm just going to put my phone on speaker and like, you can talk to him. And he was like talking to them. I don't really remember what he said.
You're kind of in shock at that point.
Well, in all honesty, I was probably like high as hell from like all the drugs they were giving me.
Yeah.
And, I remember he let them both come so that they could see me before surgery. I don't remember anything I said to them. I remember seeing them. And I remember like being wheeled out of like the ER, like going back to like the operating room.
The OR and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And like as soon as that was like my last memory. Like I don't remember anything after like being wheeled out. So they operated like all night. Surgery didn't start until like probably like around like 6:00.
In the evening?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I don't think it ended until like 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
So that's an intense surgery. That's not.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
They went in, they cut you down the middle, like through your sternum. They break your sternum in half, and
holy shit, bro.
They replaced the small part of my aorta with they call it tube graft. I don't really know exactly what it is, but they just placed like a small section of this artificial material where the aneurysm was, because it's like probably like all torn up and stuff.
Yeah.
And
totally.
so the surgery was like a life-saving procedure, and everything went well. There was a lot of, I remember them saying like after the fact that I had like, there was like a lot of bleeding during surgery, and there was like a slight chance that they were going to have to go back in if my bleeding didn't stop, but it ended up stopping and everything, so it was all good. And I was in the hospital. I was only in the hospital for 5 days after, actually. And
wow, that's, you'd think it'd be longer than that for the recovery, especially just like breaking the sternum, especially.
Yeah,
like,
well, that sucks. Like that hurt pretty bad.
Like recovering from that. Like did you have to do any rehab or rehabilitation for that?
So so I did like cardio rehab, basically like physical therapy for your heart. You wear like a heart monitor and stuff like while you're like on like a treadmill and like a bike and stuff like that. Like
you were on a treadmill?
No, not like right after, like a couple months after.
Okay. I was about to say,
but no,
running half marathons.
I was walking the day after surgery though.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
They want you to get up and get moving pretty quick. So that was the first surgery, and then I recovered like pretty well from that. But then like later in the summer, it was in August, like middle of August. I was actually first, like I was having some more chest pain. Like I first like felt it when I was actually out camping in West Virginia, and I like was like feeling like some more chest pain. Nothing like the first one. The first one was really bad.
Like explain that. How did it feel? Like was it like just tightness or?
It literally felt like something inside of my chest was ripping in half.
What?
Yeah, like and that's the only way I can describe it. And from what doctors and nurses have told me, like people that have had this happen to them, they describe it like the same way.
Oh my God, bro! I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah,
like I can't perceive that type of pain.
Yeah,
I've pulled muscles and stuff like in my pectoral muscles and stuff, and that really hurts. But like, it's like it's not on the outside like where your pecs are. It's like inside under the rib cage almost. Is that how you describe it? Like it was like more kind of deep.
Yeah. That's like a good way to put it. Like it was like it didn't feel muscular. Like it was something like inside my chest, like my heart.
That's sketch, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So in August though, when I was camping, I started feeling like another like slight chest pain. It wasn't like the same though. And so like I really didn't know what it was. But after what happened the first time, like I'm very wary of.
And you're gonna take it seriously. Yeah, you're gonna go to the doctor immediately.
Well, I should.
You should. Just could do the rest of the camping trip.
Yeah, I stayed for like the next 3 days or whatever, however long it was.
I would have been terrified. Any slight pain I got, I would have gone immediately.
Yeah, and I didn't tell anybody either.
Oh, dude.
Like that I was camping with, I didn't tell them. Cause like that's like not me. Like that, I don't like to.
You don't want to put any like fear in anybody's.
Yeah,
like, where they're like, hey, we have to cancel this whole thing right now.
Yeah, like
we have to leave.
I don't want to like ruin the trip for everybody,
But you could die.
But yeah.
Like,
but I don't know. It's just me, bro. Like
that's very selfless of you. It's very selfless.
I don't know. That's just how I am. Made it home fine and everything.
Well, explain to me when you were out camping. Like, were you guys doing like intense hiking and
nothing crazy?
Was it like a hunting trip or whatever, or were you guys just doing your thing?
No, it was just camping over the summer with like.
Where'd you guys go?
We went somewhere in West Virginia. I can't remember exactly where.
I love camping, man.
Yeah, dude, it's sweet.
So you felt the pain. Was this at the beginning of the trip, or kind of like you guys got to your campsite and then?
It was probably like, I think we were there like a Friday to a Sunday, and I probably felt it like. I probably felt it the first day. Honestly, I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
But it'd been going on for a couple of days, and I didn't say anything, and I went home. And I was still doing the cardio rehab and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did cardio rehab on, I believe it was on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or possibly just Monday and Wednesday. I can't remember. Or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think it was. And And I went like the whole week without saying anything to them at cardio rehab about.
Like you weren't even telling them,
No,
bro.
I thought it was gonna go. I thought it was gonna go away.
Did you think it was kind of just like it's healing, like that's just a healing pain or whatever?
That and like.
How long after was this after the surgery? You said.
So this was in August.
And you had the surgery in April, you said?
Yeah.
So this was a few months after.
Yeah.
This is a few months after. So that's a little.
And it felt, like I said, it felt different. So I thought it like could be muscular or something. Like I felt like maybe like I was sleeping in a hammock when I was camping and like
you slept the wrong way or something.
Yeah.
But you said when it first happened, it wasn't like a muscle pain.
Right. And this time it like kind of felt more muscular. That's why I thought it was like maybe something different.
Yeah. Maybe from like just the hike. I mean, did you guys hike long at all? Like,
yeah.
So
like,
you were like, okay, I'm probably just sore. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, I had open heart surgery in April, and I'm hiking in August. Like,
but like I just had this like bad feeling deep down that it was probably going to be something worse, and that's like also kind of why I put it off.
I mean, dude, nobody wants to confront that.
No, not
That's
at all.
That's scary. That's like terrifying, bro.
Like I didn't want to have to go back to the hospital and get my chest ripped open again. And
nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
So I ended up saying something to somebody at cardio rehab. And I was like, I just told them like, yeah, like I've been having like some chest pain. They're like, how long has it been going on? I was like, well, like a week. And they didn't like that answer. Like they were like, you should have said something sooner. And I was like, well, yeah, I know. But like they're understanding. They work with these type of people every day. Like,
yeah, totally.
So they're like, look, we're not going to make you go down. Like, because cardio rehab was at the hospital. They're like, we're not going to make you go down to the ER if you don't want to. Like, we can't do that. But we can like suggest that you do that.
You should.
Yeah. And they're like we're gonna like, if it's okay, like, can we page my cardiologist who is at the hospital?
Yeah.
And just, ask him what he thinks.
Get his opinion and stuff.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So of course he said, go down, just get checked out. So it comes down to it, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll go down. And I was just like pissed off, like
you didn't want to go through it again.
No.
Who would ever want to go through that again?
It also, like, I started getting pissed off when like I was at cardio rehab, like doing fine, like I was on a treadmill. And like,
were you still having the pains when you went to? Was this a continuous pain? Like it never went away?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I saw them bring a wheelchair in, and I was like, they're really gonna make me. I mean, it's like policy and stuff, but like, it's like,
yo, I can walk. Like,
I was like, can I just walk down there? And they're like, we can't like let you do that. And I was like,
that's the same thing they did with my dad. Like when he was in the hospital back in, I think this was months before February of this year.
Yeah.
Or no. Yeah, last year, I guess. Yeah, 2020. Yeah. And they would always bring in a wheelchair for him, and he always kind of had that reaction when they brought it in. He's like, I can walk fine. Like, but it's just policy. They just have to do it.
And that's like when I really started, like, I was just like, well, this isn't going to be good. Mm-hmm. And so I went down, and they like didn't like bullshit around with like any tests or anything, because like they knew.
They knew what was happening.
Well, they like knew, like, they remembered me actually from the first time, and they were like, we're just going to send you right for a CT, because that's what's going to show if something's wrong or not. Mm-hmm. And like, I just knew, like, I don't know. I just have like a fear of CT scans now. It just
isn't that the one where
the big donut?
Yeah, and it has like the noise of
yeah, and CTs like because it spins around inside that circle thing. And CTs are faster than MRIs. They only take like a couple of minutes and stuff. But like, it just seemed like
that's a full body scan, correct?
It can be, okay. Or they can just do
upper body and stuff. Yeah, okay.
And I just felt like every time I had a CT scan, something bad was happening. So like I had that feeling in my head already, and I was just like, whatever.
It's kind of like a dreadful feeling almost.
And it was actually the same dude running the CT that was running the CT back in April, and I remembered him, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't have a good feeling. He's like, no, come on, like, be positive. And I was like, okay. And
was this a technician?
Yeah.
Like, it's always, I had to do some urology stuff for me, and I would get, I had to go to a radiologist and get like, whatever, it's the thing.
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound, yeah. But I had it on my undercarriage.
Yeah.
And so I remember I had to get that, and it was so awkward because I had it with a lady, and she was very old, and she did it, and I would always ask her, I'd be like, yo, you see anything? Like, we good? And I can't tell you anything. I'm a technician. And I'm like, just give me a nod if it's bad or if it's normal or if it's, not something good, but it's not terrible. And she was just like, I can't tell you anything. And I was like, dude. And then after leaving there, I was just like, oh my God, man. I couldn't sleep the night after, or the night before, going into, I was like, I'm terrified.
Yeah. So, I get out of the CT and I go back to my room, and the one of the doctors that was there, he comes in and he tells me so the problem was that my aorta was still enlarged. And it was,
which it shouldn't be, obviously.
No, and it was getting bigger, at a pace that wasn't
normal.
Yeah. So before he even stopped speaking, I was like, so are you guys going to get me ready for surgery or what? And
you're kind of just at the point where I'm not going to take any more bullshit. Don't sugarcoat anything. Just tell me straight up.
They knew that.
Okay, cool.
And I was like, so are you guys going to get me ready for surgery? Start sticking me with IVs and stuff. And he's like, well, he's like, it is going to need surgery. He's like, I'm not going to lie to you. And he's like, but I want to talk to Dr. Finney first. Dr. Finney was the surgeon that did my first one. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he's here today. He's here. He'll come in and he'll talk to you about what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He's like, I don't know if you're gonna have surgery today, tomorrow, or what. I was all right. So he comes in and he explains to me what's going on, and he was like, I actually don't want to do like he was talking about himself. He's like, I personally don't want to do the surgery. I think Dr. Finney, anybody that is in the Maryland area and has had heart surgery knows Stuart Finney. He's a very, very good heart surgeon.
Renowned heart surgeon or whatever.
He was like, I think that it should be done by an aortic specialist. So if
he didn't want to do it himself, he wanted someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which made me feel kind of weird because he's a really good surgeon. And I was like,
and if he doesn't want to do it, what's going on?
Yeah. It didn't turn out to be he didn't think he could have done it. But there's my other surgeon, Brad Taylor, he's at University of Maryland downtown. Mm-hmm. He specializes in aortic replacement and aortic aneurysm. So this is his area, and he's really good at what he does. Runs the whole division.
Keep going on. I'm going to turn on this heater real quick.
So, he was like, I want to transport you there. Okay. And he's like, I don't think it's urgent. But it's something that should be done, sooner than later. So they he called over to him at University of Maryland, and he was like, yeah, we'll send him here and we'll take care of it. So they transported me from St. Joe's in Towson to University of Maryland downtown.
How was that ride like? Explain the ride.
Dude, fucking bullshit. I was in an ambulance. They didn't even turn the sirens on.
Oh my God, you didn't even get the full experience?
No lights, no sirens. It was just a fucking bumpy ass ride.
I would have been like, come on, turn on the sirens.
In the back of a meat wagon.
Damn.
I was hoping they were going to transport me somewhere far away so I get to ride in the fucking chopper.
Oh my God, yo, you're trying to get the full experience.
Yeah, man, we got that good health insurance now. I could afford that.
Oh my God, yo. So yeah, you're getting a ride over to University of Maryland, and
yeah, so they transport me there, and I also got COVID tested 7 times.
Is that did you have to get the one where they shove it far back there? When I got COVID tested, it's just it goes up to right here.
Yeah, no, they touch my brain,
Holy shit. Fucking went up
so they did it. They did it once when I got into the ER at St. Joe's, and they were like, we meant to do the rapid test. We did a 24-hour, so we have to do it again. So I was like, okay.
All right, dickheads.
So there's 2 at St. Joe's, and then when the transport team came in, they're like, we need to test you before we take you, and we're gonna have to test you once you get to University of Maryland. So there's 3 ambulance ride, get to shock trauma at University of Maryland, and they test me again. All were negative, obviously, but so there's
do you have to get tested while you're in the?
yeah,
Okay.
like right now you do, and like before surgery and stuff, like they have to do it. So yeah, they test me 4 times before I even get to the unit that I was going to be in. Anyway, so get to University of Maryland, they do all this stuff with me. And then I get to the one unit. It was like a cardiac care unit or whatever. And that's where hold on, I think I'm sinking in this chair.
You might be, dude. These chairs I bought off Amazon are cheap as shit. Yeah, you just gotta
Just to readjust.
yeah,
Anyway,
readjust. Sorry.
so that's when I met my surgeon, Brad Taylor, for the first time. And he was like, he looked at my like CTs and stuff, and he was like, everything looks like all right for now. Like I don't want to have to rush into any surgery. So this was on a Monday. I remember, yeah. So this I got to the hospital on a Monday, and he was like, I wanna wait a couple of days. I want to make sure I have like this specific staff here for your surgery because he wanted these specific people there. I was like, okay. He's like, I'm gonna shoot for Friday. So I was like, okay. So like, what can I go home and then come back Friday for surgery? And he was like,
And you said you arrived on a Monday?
yeah.
Oh my god, bro.
He was like, if it wasn't growing, like if my aorta wasn't getting like larger at the rate it was, he would let me go home.
But they need to monitor it.
Yeah, so I had to stay in the hospital from Monday until Friday. Like that was like some of the worst parts about it because like think like
Maybe go into
like,
that. Why
I'm like,
why was it worse? Or why was it bad?
because like I felt fine, like other than like
Were you still having
minor
the pain? Were you still having the pain at this
yeah,
point?
but they like could give me some medicine and stuff, so I felt like comfortable.
Was it like de-inflammatory or whatever? Or
I don't remember exactly
Yeah.
what it was, but like that's why it sucked because like I felt like fine, but I had like just had to sit in the hospital and do nothing for days and until my surgery.
oh man. Well, explain the hospital stay. Like like I said before when we were on the phone talking about this episode, I told you I remember when I would go into the hospital, I kind of enjoyed it because they would. I always told my mom when I was a child because I went to the hospital for when I had a really bad concussion. I stayed for I think it was 3 or 4 days, and because they were checking for like brain hemorrhaging and stuff. And I remember I told my mom, I was like, I feel like a king right now. Like they're like coming in every 20, 30 minutes. Hey John, how you doing? You feeling okay? Like you need anything? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. Get me some. I was a big fan of the ice chips. They bring in some ice chips. It's literally just a cup full of ice.
Yeah.
But when you're in the hospital, you tend to enjoy the little things.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Well, so it's like think of it like you said, like it's night. You were only there for a couple of days.
yeah, 3-4 days. Tops.
So like it's nice, but it gets old. Like anything else gets old.
Yeah, and this was when I was a child. So
Yeah.
obviously I'm not an adult like I am now. I probably would have hated that.
Yeah. So the unit that I was on waiting until that Friday when I had my surgery, it was like a step down from the ICU. And it's only for cardiac patients. So it's like it's lesser monitored in the ICU. You don't constantly have like people like coming in and stuff like that. You're not hooked up to like as many monitors and stuff. So like it's pretty like relaxed and stuff. But after hold on, let me think here. So
You're good.
my surgery was on that Friday. It was at like 6 a.m.
Okay.
So they take me down for surgery, and they do their thing. What they actually did was, they ended up actually replacing you have 2 parts of your aorta. You have your ascending, which goes up, and your descending that goes down.
Kind of like handle the upper part and then down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So all my problems are in my descending. So they actually, I had 2 surgeries while I was there. This most recent time in August and September. So it would be my second heart surgery, but the first of this hospital stay.
And before you go into that, try to explain to the people, how normal is it to get an open heart surgery?
Not.
You're not like you.
Yeah.
Some people can go their whole life without ever even worrying about that, correct?
Yeah.
And you're about to go into your second at 22 years old.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Like, what was going through your mind? Like, did you think about that at the time? Like, were you like, I'm doing this?
Yeah. Like
holy shit.
I like realized like it's not like a normal thing.
Yeah, obviously.
But like, I mean, I just like there's no other like option.
Totally. That's
just like, I mean, I kind of got to do what I got to do, right? So they did the first surgery and they replaced my entire aortic root. So that's like, it's like a little piece at the top of your heart that has like 3 stems that come out of
Let me
it.
see if I can pull up a picture of like what the heart and its valves. Because I feel like it would be kind of good to kind of show the people like what a heart.
Yeah, I could like. Point it out right away.
Yeah, so here's a picture of these all look like children's drawings.
You putting it on the TV?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the TV. Let me open this picture in a new tab. Let's put this up here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Come on, baby. Come on. Sorry, this is low budget as a kid, baby. All right, so it's just not working. Let me go back up to this. Sorry. So this is what I got right here.
Okay, yeah.
So
blow up that picture that you have your mouse on right now.
Let me open this in a new tab. So I can kind of.
Okay, so that red and
Which one? Like.
All right, so right. The very top, the red and blue, those valves right there. Actually, I'm sorry, not the blue one, just that red one, that arch.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah, with the 3 stems coming out of it.
Yeah. Oh, so this whole thing.
Yeah, that's your aortic root.
Oh, okay.
And so that inside of me is completely fake.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What?
And so it actually kind of looks like a candy cane.
And I want to kind of maybe I'll put this up on the actual video itself.
Yeah, so that looks like a candy cane,
But
and
this
if you
right here.
Yeah, so if you look at it from left to right, the right side would be like that arch. The right side would be like the longer end of a candy cane, like going straight down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what they did, it's actually it's called like they put in it's called a frozen elephant trunk. And
What?
yeah, it's not an actual elephant trunk.
Yeah, obviously not. Obviously, Matt, come on.
Yeah, but so they replaced
It's
that.
kind of like where they call it like a. Oh, actually, I think that might the pig valve or whatever.
No, that's real. That's
it.
actual.
Yeah, actually. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Go on.
So they actually almost did do that to me,
Wow.
but they didn't.
So going on this.
So that is entirely fake of mine.
So this piece right here, this whole thing is fake.
Yeah.
Like even these parts right here. Or is it just this section?
To my knowledge, those three stems are fake as well. I'm pretty sure.
Shit, bro. You don't even know what's in your body. That's
Nah, man. I'm
terrifying,
I'm
bro.
like Iron Man or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for real.
But yeah, so they replaced that. And so that was the first surgery, and that was pretty intense. That was a pretty long surgery. That was like another I think that was like a 9-hour surgery too. And I had some like pretty bad complications after. Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. I'm completely lying to you. Surgery went really well.
Damn it, Matt.
Surgery went really well, and I was doing pretty well. I was in the ICU. They moved me out of the ICU back to that step-down unit, but when I was in the step down unit, that's when I started having some problems. I started aspirating, and for people that don't, aspirating is like if you eat or drink something, instead of it going into your stomach, it goes to your lungs, and that's pretty bad. It can kill you.
What?
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
I had aspiration pneumonia. So like I like just got an infection or something.
Is it like where the kind of like the valve where it
your little
switches
flap
from
thing?
from the windpipe to your esophagus or
just
whatever?
isn't working properly and stuff.
Holy shit, bro.
So like your
That's
air,
wild.
Yeah, so like your air sacs in your lungs like
they're filling up with food.
and,
Or they could.
and fluid. Yeah, it's like
Oh
not
my
good.
lord.
Essentially it's kind of like drowning. Like
Yeah, yeah.
So they had to re-intubate me, so they had to take me back to the ICU, put another breathing tube back in me, and kind of like sedate me for a couple of days. Couldn't have any food or drinks or anything.
Like you couldn't eat at all.
No, I had a feeding tube in my nose that goes through your nose down into your stomach. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, trust
It's
me.
terrible.
My dad actually had one from here. It went straight into his stomach,
Yeah, it's
and
so gross,
dude, I
too.
had to clean that sometimes, and that was
So nasty.
It was nasty to say the least.
Like that was like one of the worst things, dude. Like I would wish that upon nobody. Like it so
The feeding tube,
uncomfortable.
you said,
So
because you're awake when you have it, and you can feel it. Correct?
Yeah, you feel it go like down your throat and into your stomach, and like you can like still
dude.
like taste it too, and it's like just nasty. I don't even want to think about it. It's so gross.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Ew. Ew. Oh.
So I was in the ICU for a couple more days after that. After they had to take me back, because of those problems, I ended up getting off the breathing tube again, and then they took me back to the step down unit where I was doing fine. And like this has been like a long process like since I've been in the hospital.
And this wasn't the stent from Monday through Friday. This was after. Like how long after was this?
So I was in the hospital for 6 weeks.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, bro.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So this was like after that Monday through Friday stint. Like this was like after the first surgery, and like these are all complications
Holy
from
shit.
the first surgery and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to do this third surgery where, so they replaced my aortic root with the elephant, and there's an elephant in me, and
There's an elephant trunk inside of Matt's heart right
and
now.
they replaced my entire descending aorta. So that was the next part. And
Go back to that one picture just to kind of give people
look up descending aorta, because I don't know if I could.
It looks
pick
like
it
it's
up.
like, oh shit. God, I'm like a little old man when it comes to this. All right, descending aorta, you said, right?
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this
Like
this
the picture
actually
right here?
helps.
Let me
This
open
actually
this
helps a
up
lot.
real quick. All right, so this is the descending aorta.
Yeah, so you can see the candy cane perfectly there.
Like, okay, yeah. So you see it's kind of like it goes down like that.
Yeah, so the top of the candy cane is the root, and then that straight down part, that's your descending.
Like this guy right here, this thick one.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they replaced that is all fake.
Wait, you're saying this whole thing is fake?
Down to like my
Like stomach area?
yeah, it's fake.
So wait, they had so you're telling me they ripped you open from like up here to like down here?
Well, so that scar in my chest starts. Do you see it?
Yeah, it starts like
Yeah,
around
it starts like right at the base of my neck, and that goes down to like above my belly button. But
Bro, what? I thought it, dude, no lie, I thought it was like this.
yeah, no, so that goes down to like my belly button.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'll show you. And then, but when they did my descending aorta, they actually don't go through your chest. And that's why I thought this was okay. So this is the third surgery now. I thought this was going to be the easiest one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, they're not opening up my chest. They're just going through my side, so it'll be a lot easier. turned out to be the hardest surgery of them, all of them. So what they actually did was that scar starts like here. So like for everybody just listening, it's like right above my left hip.
About where like your appendix would be, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Starts there, goes all the way up under my pec, like right under like my left pec, wraps around my like under my armpit to my back.
To like the middle of your back, or like kind of?
Yeah, and it like kind of stops like right underneath my left shoulder blade. So that's the longest one. I had like over 200 staples to put that one back together.
Holy shit.
So they open up your side there, and then they don't break your ribs, but they spread your ribs apart. And that hurts pretty bad. It still kind of hurts a little bit, if we're being honest.
Oh my God, yo. What? How did they spread it without breaking it?
I don't. Medicine's crazy, bro. I don't know.
It doesn't make like your. It doesn't make like the. Who knows? Makes your bone like liquidy almost.
My left side feels super weird now. Like doesn't feel normal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Bro.
My heart works. So.
Yeah. Thankfully. Holy shit, bro.
And what they have to they shut your left lung down. Like they make your left lung just inoperable. Medicine's crazy. Like literally,
medicine's crazy, bro. No, seriously, medicine is crazy.
When people ask me questions about my surgery, I just literally I just say medicine's crazy. Like I don't know how else to answer.
It's a good response. It's a good response.
Yeah. So they had to shut my left lung down because when they're working on that descending aorta, it's very close to it.
And before you go anywhere after that, is that I feel like that would be maybe the most risky surgery.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is that the most risky? And this was the third one, correct?
This was the third one.
So that I feel because that's like throughout your whole upper body almost.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not like just this section like this, or I mean this section right here kind of like they're just focusing on this. Like, dude, this was literally from your like you have like your like the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Bro. Holy shit. And your side, correct?
Yeah. And so I didn't mention. After the second surgery, they actually tapped my vocal cord, and that's why like I sound like a little raspy right now. My left vocal cord is actually completely paralyzed, and it was and it was from like they like hit it during surgery. Like it's kind of like inevitable like that they might touch it like during surgery.
I feel like that is kind of the. And correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's the best thing that could have happened. Like in like the bad things that could happen.
Yeah. Out of all the bad things that could happen,
I feel
if just my vocal cord,
you sound like
a chain smoker,
or a coal worker.
Yeah,
it's pretty badass.
Yeah. So that got paralyzed, and actually like. Until November, like I didn't have a voice. Like I actually like.
Was it kind of like just like a whisper?
Like I was like I like physically could not speak louder than a whisper.
Oh wow! Did it hurt? Like,
no, and it still doesn't hurt. It might like sound like it hurts, but it doesn't hurt at all. Like I like feel like I'm at like a pretty like normal volume right now.
Yeah, totally.
But like I can't like raise my voice. Like I can't scream or anything. Like it just wouldn't work. Like it just physically. Like can't work.
It'll just kind of crack and just go to a whisper almost. Like
yeah, want me to try and scream?
No. Okay. There might be someone working downstairs and be like, "What the fuck's going on up here?" The fuck is that?
But yeah, no. So what they actually did in November, they inject your vocal cord with Botox to it makes it fatter, and the way your voice works is your two vocal cords touch to create vibration.
Yeah.
So my right one was moving, my left one wasn't, so I wasn't getting sound. So by making the left one bigger, the right one moves enough to touch it to create sound.
So it's not. Is it partially paralyzed to this day, or is it just?
So it's getting better. Like
will it go back to normal or no?
So they think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it takes like a pretty long time. The way that they described it is it grows back or heals at 1 millimeter per day or something like that, or per week or something. and it got tapped, all the way down in my chest. So that's a long way for it to fully heal all the way back up,
Oh my God, bro.
But I mean, I can't notice it as much, but
I mean, to be honest with you, I've kind of noticed throughout the years of knowing you, you kind of have always kind of not had a raspy voice, but when you would like scream, like when we played football or like when we would just be like playing together or whatever,
Yeah.
like you would kind of just like have like that raspiness kind of like when you scream.
And I actually like I was a lacrosse goalie, and like I would be like yelling a lot like during games.
Yeah, totally.
And stuff. So like I lose my voice like pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like I haven't noticed. Everybody else has said like, Matt, your voice is sounding so much better. Like every time I talk to you, it sounds like better and better each day. I haven't noticed it as much, but I mean, I hope they're not lying.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
bro, when I had the phone call with you, dude, you sounded normal, honestly.
Yeah.
Like you sounded like just normal Matt. Like I didn't really notice a difference until you told me, and then I was like, yeah, maybe a little raspy, but it's nothing, terribly like noticeable. You could just be with the ladies. You could be like, yeah, I'm a coal worker.
Yeah.
I work in the coal mines.
Just like get a little like charcoal on my face.
I work in the coal mines, baby.
Yeah. Like what coal mine? None exist around here anymore. So
Yeah, I'm a Maryland coal miner.
I travel to and from West Virginia every day. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might be missing some stuff from surgery, but I guess the main point is
we don't have to dive completely
Yeah.
into it, because I mean, I hope to have you on it again. So
Yeah.
and we can always talk about it more. I have people reach out to me all the time, like asking me certain questions. So they'll probably ask me some questions, email me some questions, or DM me some questions. So, but I want to go into let's go into maybe did we leave anything out from like your hospital stay? I feel like we kind of covered all of it. Did we?
Yeah, I think so. Like I mean, I could probably. It seems like when I talk to people now, like all I talk about is my heart surgery, which is completely fine. It's like a big part of my life.
I mean, that's a big part of your life.
Yeah,
dude, I was when I saw your like Instagram stories, dude, I had no idea that happened to you.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I was like, dude, what's up with my boy Matt?
And I enjoy talking about it actually. Like it's like a pretty good coping mechanism actually. Like
yeah, totally. And it's honestly, dude, that experience in itself will kind of mold you into the person that you will become.
For sure.
Like,
I definitely don't like complain as much anymore about like things.
Do you find I realized through my father's passing that one thing kind of taught me to not be selfish or
for sure.
and kind of it kind of grounded me to the point where it's like, yo, you kind of look at death or kind of look at those serious things that like, oh, it won't happen to me. It just you just see it on the news or you just see it on Facebook. Or
it's very humbling,
Yeah, humbling as shit.
Well, I know it like it sounds cliche and sounds stupid, like live every day like it's your last. But like,
dude, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like literally, like I was completely fine. I was in college. I was like doing homework.
And if you didn't go to that hospital that day, that could have been.
They
your
told
last.
me, like they literally told me, like if you did not come to the hospital today, you would have died.
Oh my God, bro. See, and that's the thing. Like you said, it's not a cliche because, dude, it can happen. And obviously yours is a little more kind of
like it's more serious. Like
it's more serious, obviously, but things of that nature, like death, that can happen to anyone. Like you can,
I don't know. I've never been in like a car accident or something, but like I have friends and stuff that like they're like, dude, it was like really scary. Like if one thing like could have happened like wrong, like I like would have got like T-boned and I could have died or something. Like
totally.
Like that stuff happens to people more often than obviously
health issues and stuff.
Having like bad heart problems and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I definitely look at life a different way. I really value like quality time with people and like if someone like comes on the podcast or like that's just like another part of their day. But like to me, it's like another day that I get to
enjoy
spend with my friend John and
yeah, we could do this. I the whole thing about this podcast is it's to spread awareness to certain things where but also share a story where someone may have gone through not maybe the same exact circumstances that you went through, but I know personally there's people that I know that have had open heart surgery and they're kind of closed to talking about it. Like they don't want to talk about it, or it kind of triggers them to where they're like, I just want to forget about that. I don't want to talk about it. But it's like,
I want to
kind of bring it to where it's like, I don't know what the word is, but normalize these serious conversations that some people don't want to talk about, and it can maybe someone that's watching or listening, it can kind of give them a reason, or not a reason, it can kind of give them a little time to be like, whoa, this guy knows what it's like. Yeah. I'm not alone.
Yeah,
because when definitely. You go through things like, especially with say mental health or anything like that, like you feel alone, and especially with something like this isn't a normal thing. You kind of feel alone, right. And I'm sure there's people out there that are going to relate to your story and be like, dude, I know exactly how that feels.
Right. So they actually, it's funny that you say that. They like, after my first surgery, they were doing like a lot of genetic research on me, like to figure out, like what caused this, like why did it happen? And it actually turns out that they found that I have like a pretty rare, like new form of genetic, like connective tissue disorder. It's called Loeys-Dietz syndrome.
I was actually just about to go into that.
Yeah. It's similar to Marfan syndrome, if anybody knows what Marfan's is. Abraham Lincoln had it.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But it's a connective tissue disorder. So in Loeys-Dietz, it's mainly found in your aorta, in areas around your heart. So just the genetic makeup of that connective tissue that holds everything together there's an imbalance in it or something. And it was just discovered in 2005. It was discovered by two doctors, Loeys and Dietz, and Harold Dietz is actually a doctor at Johns Hopkins.
And, wow. Shout out Hopkins.
Shout out to Hopkins. It's in Maryland for anybody. How do you not know what Johns Hopkins is? But,
yeah. Most people know what Johns Hopkins is. World-renowned hospital.
I've actually had an appointment with Harold Dietz, one of the founders of this, and he's like gonna follow me for, I guess, forever now or whatever. But yeah, like it, and there's like support groups and stuff out there for it. I'm not like all into that, but
yeah, totally. I mean, to each his own,
Yeah, but like a lot of, like it's fairly new, so a lot of people are like, well, like what? Like I just found out that I have this. Like, how's my life going to change and stuff like that. That was something that like I was wondering too. Like, kind of funny. I actually asked him. I was like, can I go on like roller coasters?
Anything, or did you ask him like anything that's going to like bump my heart rate up or whatever?
Yeah. So I was like, it was like I had notes in my phone for this appointment of like things to ask him if I can do and like what I can't do. The first thing on there, I don't know why. Like, I'm not like some amusement park like enthusiast or anything. Like, I don't like I like roller coasters and stuff. But like, I was like, I wonder if I can go on roller coasters anymore. So I was like, really weird question. I was like, can I go on roller coasters? And he was like, you know what? A lot of people ask that question. And
little did you know.
Yeah. So
what was
turns
his
out
answer?
I can go on roller coasters.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go to Hershey Park,
hit up Matt.
Hit me up.
His Instagram's in the description. He's willing to go.
Yeah.
Are you single?
Yeah.
They say he's single,
yeah.
Ladies. Let him know.
Yeah.
And
for sure. But getting back to the boring life of Matt.
It's not boring. It's inspiring, honestly.
There's like a couple of things that I like can't do anymore. I can't play contact sports anymore.
Which was a big part of your life, correct?
Like my entire life I played football and lacrosse.
Yeah.
I graduated. Like, I played club lacrosse in college. I stopped playing football after senior year of high school. And sorry, somebody.
No, you're good.
That's probably the doctor, honestly, but it's okay. They can leave a message.
No worries. Call him later, man.
Yeah.
We're doing something.
So I don't play like contact sports anymore. Like, I was gonna I was thinking about like doing like a men's league of lacrosse or something, but it's honestly not like the end of the world that I can't play lacrosse anymore. I obviously don't play football anymore.
I kind of gave that up after going into high school. I was like, one thing I realized is that playing those intense sports is that I get really mad. I would get so mad to the point where I was like, this guy's pissing me off. But I don't like fighting or, doing contact things with people, because I consider myself kind of like a pacifist in a way. And I was like, dude, football makes me so angry. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, man.
Yeah. But
so maybe this kind of like segues into the next thing that we could go into, because obviously I would consider you an avid hunter, and that's obviously an activity that you can do. And I feel like that in itself is not terribly, what's the word? Like cardio intensive. Yeah. Like you can like be in a tree stand for, hours on end. And honestly, from what I've seen, it's sometimes therapeutic to just be one with nature and kind of like, being out there. So maybe explain like how hunting has like kind of like been that kind of, I have it written down as kind of like an escape from
also
thing.
Anybody that knows me would like kind of probably describe me as like really likes hunting, really likes his truck.
He's got a big truck, by the way.
Yeah,
it's sexy.
It's compensating.
It's not. I've seen it. No. Go on.
But yeah, no, I'm like really like outdoorsy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like girls that say like I'm super outdoorsy and adventurous.
I love nature.
That's me. So, I am very like lucky and blessed that I can still enjoy hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of mainly like goose hunting is probably my favorite type of hunting.
Why, explain why, because I've always been one that has never really hunted myself, but I've always admired it and I've always wanted to jump into it. And I've kind of seen from some of my friends that do it, that seems like the most kind of active, not active, but like most like exciting, because you can, you don't have to wait in a tree stand or like trail a deer or elk or whatever you're doing for like hours on end. You can just be like set up and you see a flock of birds coming by and you can just go at it.
So I like different aspects about like deer hunting is a lot of work for little reward, but when the reward comes, it is amazing.
Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine that feeling.
Yeah. Goose hunting is also a lot of work. It's like you got to put out all your decoys and you spend a lot of time like building blinds and brushing them in with grass and all that stuff. But I think goose hunting is probably, I like the social aspect of waterfowl hunting. So goose and duck.
Yeah.
Cause if you're deer hunting, you're up in a tree and you got to be like super quiet, super still, and you're by yourself. For the most part, like unless you're like with one other person, like filming you or something. But goose hunting, or duck hunting, you're with all your buddies, you're in the blind. You can cook food. You can eat. You can bring snacks.
Hanging out with the boys.
Yeah, you
drink
can
a beer.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can talk to each other, and you hear them coming over top, and that's when you get quiet, you get low, and you can work the bird. Like I think the most fun part is like calling geese and like working them, and they're flying over, and you can hit a specific note on a goose call, and that triggers something in their head, and they're like, all right, we're locking in.
Laser vision.
We're coming in.
I'm going to bang one of these decoys.
And then when they come in, they lock up, dude. It's like, I sound like such a nerd, but like, it's like oh man.
Dude, anybody gets that little endorphin rush from any of their things that they like doing as like a hobby. And it's like, dude, I mean, some people, look at hunting and are like, oh, it's a terrible thing. But it's like, keep in mind, like, it's something that, to some people, it gives them that escape where it's like secretly deep down they're doing it because this is that one thing that makes them happy and kind of gives them that full feeling of freedom. Like they're out in nature, hanging out with their friends, maybe drinking a beer, cooking up some meats, just doing their thing. And that to some people, they may not be open about it, but it's that one thing where they're like, dude, this is just the one thing that I can feel myself.
Yeah,
I can be myself, and it's just I'm having a good time. And
like when I'm out hunting, like I don't really think about like all the bad things that have happened to me medically or like all that stuff, like except for maybe like when I'm out like putting out a bunch of decoys. I'm like, damn, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, just sitting there and I like I said, like I really like the outdoors, like hunting and fishing and all that stuff. So like when I'm doing that, like it's kind of just, I don't know. It sounds stupid. Like, you just kind of forget about everything else.
No,
you know?
it clears your mind from everything.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've realized. I like to be. I started running back in like the beginning of spring, summer. I started running a lot, and well, actually, no, it was. What am I saying? No, it wasn't. It was at the beginning of like fall. I started running a lot, and I started losing a lot of weight, and I really loved it, and it was a lot of fun. But one thing that I realized, I hated running in my neighborhood because I would always pass people, and I'm like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
But then I decided to start trail running and going down to like Bottom Road, Gunpowder Falls and stuff, those trails and stuff. And I realized I just love being out in nature. I love admiring nature. I love seeing everything that nature has to offer. And you're kind of at a more deeper point where you're taking in nature, but you're also like, dude, I mean,
I'm like fully taking it in.
Fully taking it in. You're in nature,
like
100%.
Holding a bird in my hand.
Yeah, like, dude, you're fully in nature.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've realized. It clears your mind when you're out there. And I feel it's an escape for some. They won't maybe vocally say that, but, dude, a lot of people are out there just because they want an escape from the working world. They're going back to work every day, doing their thing, maybe with a terrible wife. They hate their like home life, and that's their one escape.
Yep.
They get to do like a few times a month, maybe a few times a year, either or. Like, that's their one escape where they can just be like, dude, I can't wait for. They just look forward to that, and I respect that so much.
Getting
dude.
away from the old lady.
Yeah. Old lady and the kids, going out to shoot some geese.
I don't have one to get away from, so. Yeah.
Like I said, hit them up.
Yeah, you can do that.
His Instagram's in the description.
Yeah. 410.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. But no, it's actually funny that you brought up like how you can become like fully engulfed in it, like once you're out in there. And it's weird to some people. I don't think it's weird, but my favorite animal is a duck, specifically a mallard drake, the ones with the green heads. They're so beautiful, but people think it's very weird. Like, you say your favorite animal is a duck, but like you kill them. Well, yeah, I do, but like I don't know if everybody can understand, but like, it gives you such a better appreciation for an animal.
And that's all that I've heard from other hunters.
Yeah,
that,
like if you're like actively like hunting this animal and like you're pursuing it, and you learn like what they eat, what their
you learn a lot
what their
about
certain
them.
habits are. Yeah, and I just think that they're so cool, and like being able to like look at like nobody that doesn't hunt, like, unless you're like a biologist or something, is going to be able to like hold this animal like this close and just look at it and like
admire it.
Like, you would never know like about like certain like colors of like feathers that like some ducks have, and like certain like mallard drakes, like, so that's a boy mallard, the ones with green heads. Mm-hmm. They have these curl tail feathers on their tail, and like they're so cool. Like it's like a little Jerry curl in the back,
See, I can't say that I know what that is because I've never seen one up close like that.
Like they have like these really nice, like, when the light hits like their wing, it's like purple.
Like, shows all the different colors on their
dude,
feather.
It's like awesome.
See, and that's the one thing
I'm so horny for ducks, man. They're so nice.
And that's what I've realized, and obviously, to each his own with a lot of like, people that kind of go against hunting and, they don't believe in,
and that's fine. You don't
have to. Yeah. You're not forcing it upon anyone, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you like you said, using your words, it puts you get engulfed into nature. Yeah. And I feel like that's, when you go take a hike or something or go camping, you get engulfed in nature. But like when you're in it, like there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah. And the only thing that I say to people that are like super against hunting, or like, I don't argue. But like those that are against hunting but still eat meat, I just say like, the chicken that you're eating probably didn't live as good of a life as the deer
natural
that
or
I
yeah.
Like,
they're in like a chicken farm and shit.
Yeah, the deer was living its completely normal life, for however long it was alive, until it came in front of my arrow.
Yeah, and
it died in a humane way very quickly.
Yeah. And that's one thing people don't understand when you're hunting.
Yeah.
That's probably, I know you see, a lot of people have seen those videos online of like, the cow farms and shit like that.
Yeah.
That is it's not humane at all.
It's
not
up.
natural at all. It's super artificial. And people don't understand when you're hunting, those are like kind of the, like,
that's
if you were to take one,
you want organic, grass-fed, free range, that's it, man. Like,
yeah. Fuck going to Trader Joe's or some shit or whatever it is. Like, you want the most natural meat you can get. That's how you get it.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no other way to get it, like, realistically like that.
No.
Like, it really isn't.
But I mean, I'm not, like I said, like, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. Like, that's just...
To each his own. Like, dude, to each his own. And
if
I just personally, I respect it a lot. Like, I respect it a lot because I've always kind of not been an outdoorsman like a lot of people are, but I've kind of just like admired it. I've always loved camping. I've loved hiking. And I mean, I was in Boy Scouts my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, and I always have respected that, side of things. And I kind of wanted to just go into it because I know you like it too. And that's one of the things you can still do after being, dealt the hand that you've been dealt.
Yeah,
and I think that's really cool that you could still have that escape because, like I said, for some, it's their way of feeling freedom and truly being out.
I'm very blessed to, not only just still be alive, but
totally
be able to do like, that's like probably like the one thing that's probably like my favorite thing to do, like hunting and fishing and stuff. So I'm very glad I can still do that.
That's awesome, man. Well, is there anything left that you want to maybe talk about to the people watching or listening?
No, I mean, like John said, my stuff's down in the bio. If you like have any specific questions about heart surgery or anything along the lines of that, like you can literally ask anything you want. Like just feel free to reach out. I'm very open about it. And like the outdoor side, like if anybody, wants to get together, if you hunt or if you want to try it, just, you let me know. And
I might take you up on that offer.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously. But yeah, cool. That was a dope episode, man. We got into a lot of things, and I'm sure in the future we're probably gonna get together and talk about some more things. Maybe just like straight up, like maybe you get back from a dope ass hunting trip and you want to talk about it. So if we can get into that, or either way, we're probably gonna be coming back together, doing another episode. But thank you guys for hanging out. That was a fun episode. But like I said, keep in touch with Matt. His information is gonna be in the description or on like Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that. It's gonna be in the if you press the show more option on the actual episode itself, it will show his contacts and you can get in touch with him, maybe talk to him about a story that you went through that maybe you want to maybe have him elaborate more on, or just say, hey man, I know the struggle. I went through the same thing as you and just want to say that you're a fighter and whatever you want, man. But thank you guys for hanging around, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.